Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. In this video we're going to be looking at Bitmap Brothers Collection 2 on the Evercade on the Super Pocket. Without further ado, let's get started with the video. Okay guys, we're going to be looking at the Bitmap Brothers Collection 2 on Evercade on your Super Pockets. Again, this won't be a full review. If you want to see a full review, I'll leave a link in the description. I'm just looking at compatibility issues with the Super Pockets. Obviously, given the fact we've got different sort of layouts, different screen size, that type of thing, and obviously the screen is a lot smaller. So let's look at some of the games. We've got 6 games to get through, and I'll highlight any issues that I've found whilst playing them on the Super Pocket. Okay, let's get started. We're going to be looking at the first one, Cadaver, or Cadaver, however you want to actually say it. I have no idea. So this one does start right away. Now the first thing that definitely jumped out at me is I felt that the screen aspect ratio just didn't feel right at all compared to the Evercade EXP. And I changed this, obviously it's on original ratio, changed it to pixel perfect. It kind of, I don't know, makes it look worse, I don't know. Or put it to full screen. It just has that kind of strange stretch. It just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. It just feels a bit weird. And the other sort of issues, I guess, are the fact that obviously it's quite tricky to see a lot of the text and the different actions, and even sort of the items you need to pick up on screen. There's like a tiny coin there that you need to pick up. So definitely going to be one of those games that if you've got sort of bad eyesight, probably not the best gaming experience that you're going to have with this game at all. I've actually really enjoyed playing this game. Pretty obscure at times in what you're supposed to do, but it is a really cool game, but I'm not really sure this works very well on the Super Pocket at all. Now, some of the controls are mapped to the shoulder buttons, but they're not massively important. You can easily get away with ignoring those buttons. So again, looking at Cadaver the Payoff, you can see that the text on the screen is pretty small. It's going to, if you're not obviously got great eyesight, this is going to hurt trying to play this game, and it's obviously quite difficult to even see some of the things sort of blending in there. So again, the puzzles are sometimes a little bit obscure, but nice game, exactly the same as the original game. You're going to have the same sort of issues. As you can try to read this on the small screen, probably not ideal at all, and sometimes it's quite important because there are a lot of sort of tips that you can get reading these texts and how to actually play the game. So it will not be the best experience at all on here. Okay, moving on to Gods. This one should be a lot better. It's a more straightforward sort of platform style game. It should work fine on the Pocket. Okay, so the buttons are pretty straightforward for the Super Pocket. Obviously it doesn't really utilise the shoulder buttons, I don't believe, in any way, or it shouldn't do. No, it doesn't. You've really just got A and B in the D-pad, so it should be absolutely fine. And I didn't really see any massive glaring issues with the game at all, which was fine. Obviously you can use up in the D-pad to jump, or you can press the B button to jump. Trying to beat this guy, unbelievably tough. Maybe I'm just rubbish. I think I went through most of my life, nearly defeated it, and then completely died. Maybe I just need to sort of change my strategy a little bit. Or need some potions to use, I don't know, maybe there's a potion I need to use, I have no idea. Anyway, an absolutely cracking game, but extremely tough, and it plays really well on the Super Pocket. I didn't have any issues at all. Anybody know how to defeat this? Please let me know. So moving on to Magic Pockets, I've really enjoyed playing this, have to say, although just like Gods it is extremely difficult, especially the further you get into the game, but still a very cool game. So again, just like Gods, it's only utilising sort of A and B for the controls, which is fine. B for jump, obviously you can press up for jump as well, which is I guess standard for sort of Amiga games, because generally you would probably have been using a joystick. Didn't have any issues, looks fantastic on the Pocket. Even try to do the special move by holding down the sort of button and sort of doing this kind of spinny thing, was absolutely fine. Didn't have any major issues pulling that off, so pretty good. Just beware, this game is extremely tough, but I love it. It still is really cool, but very tough. It gets almost impossible, I think, in some of the later levels to sort of go through without taking any sort of hits at all. impossible. Cool game though, definitely cool, and it works really well on the Pocket. Okay guys, moving on to the Chaos Engine 2. Almost more of the same of the first game, apart from the fact it's a multiplayer game. And that obviously is the first issue you can see with your Super Pocket. It would be ideal if you could actually link up 2 Super Pockets together to play this game. That would be absolutely amazing. But sadly, it's just a single player on your Pocket, and this game really needs to be played with another human opponent, ideally on the VS. Okay, so some of the text is a little bit small, but I don't think that's the big major issue with this game. You can play it as a single player experience. It's absolutely fine, but I guess, as you know, it's going to split the screen up. It's not ideal for a small screen this size. And again, it should really be played with another human sort of player as well. And that's the most fun you're going to get with it. You can see it's already splitting the screen up. Probably not ideal. Looks nice and colourful, great little game, but yeah, it's not going to be the best experience for your Super Pocket. I'm pretty sure some people will get some enjoyment out of the game, absolutely no doubt about it. Also like to point out, unlike the first Chaos Engine, when you press down on the D-pad, it doesn't actually pause the game. So that's got one bonus feature that was obviously a pain in the ass in the first game. But sadly, I don't think this is the best experience to play this game at all. Okay, last up at Z, this is the real-time strategy game. And the loading times are sometimes a little bit painful on this game, so bear in mind this will probably take a few minutes to get started, even on the Super Pocket. It is pretty slow, though I think it is slightly faster compared to the EXP. Now I guess the first thing you're going to notice is that the sprites are tiny, and you can obviously, the things up and down the side of the screen here are pretty difficult to actually see. So I guess this really is not the best experience for your Super Pocket either. It's very fiddly at times. Ideally, I think this game really needs to be played with a mouse, although that's not how I guess it was designed. I might be wrong, it might have been designed like that. But it being a PlayStation game, this was obviously meant for a D-pad. You can get away with it, but I think to make the game a little bit better, ideally you want to be sort of point and clicking quickly with your mouse. As a sort of style game like this, real-time strategy, trying to defeat the opponent, it's tough as heck. And this game is tough as it is, so without your sort of issues trying to see what you're doing, it's already a tough game. And on that, I really can't recommend this game on this Super Pocket. Pretty cool game, right enough, but yeah, it's tough as nails, and it's definitely a strain on the eyes. Okay guys, just to sum up then, I think Cadaver and the Payoff probably not ideal for your Super Pockets. I think it's quite hard to see, and the screen ratios just seemed a little bit weird to me. Gods and Magic Pockets, arguably I guess the two best games, are excellent, there's no doubt about it, still really good on the Super Pocket. So if you want to sort of sum that up and buy this cart just for those two games, I guess that would be okay. But the other games, Chaos Engine 2 is really meant as a multiplayer game, which isn't going to happen sadly on the Super Pocket, and Z just doesn't feel right on the Super Pocket, given the fact the screen's a bit too small, it's difficult to see. So a little bit hit and miss. This is a great collection on Evercade, but sadly probably a bit of a mixed bag on your Super Pockets. So you have to sort of weigh that up. Is it worth it just to play Gods and Magic Pockets? Now many people would argue yes, definitely it is, but just keep that in mind when you're thinking about purchasing this for your Super Pocket. Thanks very much for watching, catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.